Cave Dwellers, and thank you Neil for having me today. For my tea submission, I can think of a few suggestions to mention, and although they may seem common or still new to other people, I'm basing this on my experience of retro gaming. That said, a few notable shoutouts in my mind would both be Tailspin and Toy Story for the Sega Mega Drive. The former is a fun adaptation of a classic cartoon, and the latter, which stuck in my mind, is an unfairly difficult adaptation of a great film. At least it did for a 7-year-old me. But they aren't what I want to focus on today. Now, what could I do for tea that I'm really passionate about? Could it be this twin Light Blaster Famiclone thing? With a weird joystick? Or could it be the Sega Namco Nintendo Triforce? Maybe, if I had the NetDim to actually load games onto it. I think when it comes to a game or series of games that I'm really passionate about, that I've always followed and owned many times in different formats, there's only one that truly jumps out. And for this demonstration today, we'll be only needing one screen and the good old PlayStation 2. And one of these.
There's been a kidnapping. It's Rachel, the daughter of the president of Sertia. Get into the castle and rescue Rachel.
Sometime, somewhere, someone is plotting a government overthrow. A small republic is in danger. It's time for the one-man army. Richard Miller. Just to be sure. Wild Dog. Time Crisis.
Time Crisis. A timeless classic with cheesy acting and fast-paced light gun action. What more could you want? Although that intro was courtesy of the arcade version, which when comparing the two side by side, you can really see how good the arcade games look compared to the PCs and the consoles of the era. Even if the PS1 version is half as graphically good, the fun is still the same. Blasting away enemies in quick succession, hoping you don't get shot by the Reds. Yeah, the original release was much harder without the red markers that were included in later games, in my opinion. However, whilst I do love Time Crisis, my absolute favourite game and today's submission has to be the much loved sequel.
It's all over. Time Crisis 2.
This follow-up has to have been an example of taking an original formula and upgrading every single aspect.
Keith and Robert.
It keeps the same familiarity of the first game, but with all the benefits of the upgrades it brings along with it. The red markers of fatal shots, updated hardware and graphics, the greater variety of enemies and animations, split screenplay involving either two players in one screen or just using this cable. Whilst this bag says it's a USB 2 cable, it certainly isn't. This is called an iLink cable, and when used with two PS2s, you can enable true dual screen two-player gaming, and it's a blast. But the best of all the new features, especially when playing the arcade version with working 24-volt recoil guns,
Machine gun action!
We gotta stop them now. Yes,
Action! Reload!
and speaking of the arcade version, in an Uno reverse style, this version shows when consoles and PCs finally caught up to the arcade. In this side-by-side, although the arcade version is using incomplete emulation, you can just see how the models are smoother, there are higher res textures, and the effects just look so much better. The arcades from this point on would end up using console or PC based hardware and no longer stood out as much.
That fool Yakov! How dare he fail!
And instead opted for physical gimmicks that you couldn't get normally at home. Time Crisis 2, however, does bring an arcade game home that you couldn't normally play, and in my opinion is worth owning the game outright. It was an electromechanical game called Quicken Crash.
Hello there. Let's start the game. Keep an eye on your aim and do your best. Level 1. Ready? Ready? Go! Oh, great! Try harder at the next stage. Level 2. Ready? Go! Not bad. Well, the results aren't so good. Level 3. Ready? Go! Whoa, excellent. Well done. You are ranking well. Level 4. This is the final phase. Shoot the cup. Ready? Ready? Go! Oh, great! Let's look at your overall ranking. Wow, way to go! You're almost in the top ranking. We await your next challenge.
Yeah, my aim is poor. I would highly recommend looking up this quirky shooter from Namco. I'm yet to see another game where you can literally shoot a cup and it explodes into fragments. No joke.
Nice try, boys. It's time for you to say goodbye. I see.
For me, Time Crisis 2 is a game that somewhat started an addiction, a thing that its sequel Time Crisis 3 only strengthened. And whilst there have been other entries into the series, such as Time Crisis Project Titan, Crisis Zone and Raising Storm, and including the new Time Crisis 5, which still hasn't seen a home port, these two remain in my mind still. They are what led me to collecting the games and the hardware that you can see on the screen now. There are still videos on my channel where I had the original arcade gear for Time Crisis 2 and Crisis Zone, and despite all the costs that they brought along with them, I haven't regretted buying them. So that is my submission for today. I hope you all enjoyed it and I highly recommend you give this series another look.
Time Crisis 2.
Your project is going down in flames. They'll be here soon.
But for now, back to you, Neil.
Made with genuine Sanwa arcade parts.
Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? Made with genuine Sanwa arcade parts. I mean, the quality of your videos, it's, you know, the submission quality has come on so far since we started doing this. I think some of you are genuine YouTubers now. That was Niko. I know him as James. James, thank you. He mentioned his YouTube channel, but I don't have a link to it. So if he's here, please let me know it, James. If not, I'll make sure I've got it for tomorrow. He's pro. You know, that's the kind of video that should be getting loads of views on YouTube. So excellent start to the stream. What's not so excellent is the fact that I've completely screwed myself over on YouTube. On eBay, sorry, not YouTube, on eBay, as you can see on the screen. So, Naokai. Is that right? Is that right? So I did a video today all about the first ever games on CD. And I mentioned this game, the Rainbow Arts Commodore 64 game, games on CD, as you can see on the screen. It came up on eBay 6 days ago, and it's been sitting at about £20. And I mentioned it in the video that went public today at 3 PM, and it went to £80. The auction ended 3 hours after my video came out. I had to stick to my schedule. It went way over my budget and it sold for £80. I know I'm a fool. I know I'm a fool. So I'll just have to wait for the next one. But yeah, I've totally used my own powers against myself. 80 quid. A lot of money. A lot of money. So what I'll do is I'll do another video to debunk that and make it worthless. Yeah, that'll show you, winning bidder. James, if you drop me an email with your YouTube channel link, you've done it. Okay, let's get that now while it's fresh in our minds. Bear with. How are we doing anyway? There is the link to the channel of the video we saw in the intro. Time Crisis 2. Do you know what? I played Time Crisis 1 to death. Never played Time Crisis 2. I really should. Hi Chris. Hi Monty. Hi Lily. Hi Chrissy. Hi Pete. Mad Pete, how's the streaming going? Because I see you've got another one scheduled and you've been streaming every week. Hello Velociraptor. Hello Paul. The other thing that's happened today is, brace yourselves, I appeared in the local newspaper. The local newspaper with 1 billion adverts on its webpage. Swindon YouTube star. I've made it, guys. I'm a star. And it's just talking about the selling of the PCs, which I don't know why I sent them a picture of me with an Amiga 4000. It has nothing to do with Amiga 4000s. It's I'll be honest, it's not the best written article, but you know, it's fine. And the nice thing about that is that I can show a newspaper to my mum and my dad and they can understand it. They don't understand YouTube. Facebook has simply radicalized them. They don't use Twitter. They don't use Instagram. They can. I can give them a newspaper and they can go, "Well done, son," and ruffle my hair. It's the only reason I did it. Man sells Amiga 4000. Now that's a headline, isn't it? What have we got then? We've got our tea videos today. Quite a lot of them. There they are. Now, this is going to be an hour stream. So we are, what, 8:15? We're going to 9:15. Here's the plan. Today is tea day. Tomorrow, let's put that music down a little bit. It's going to be U, V, and W. Because I think we can probably do that in a day. Maybe it'll roll over to 2. So U, V, W submissions I am inviting. And then the following day, which will be Monday after the weekend, X, Y, Z. Because there can't be that many X, Y, Z games, right? And that's going to draw the stream to a close when we get to Z, which makes me really sad. It won't be the end of the live streams. We are going to... No, it's not about getting my life back. I'm going to miss this. You know, I'll probably enjoy a break for a couple of days, but I'm going to miss this. And we'll figure out how we can make this sustainable in the long term. Whether it be a patron stream every month and a public one, whether it be one quiz a month and one of these, I don't know. We'll figure it out because I really enjoy hanging out with you guys. We've got to find a way. So we'll figure it out. But for now, let's crack on. We've got some leftover S games. Start starting with Pedro. How did we miss this yesterday? How did we miss Sensible Soccer? We got any audio on this one? No audio. Okay, but I do have some text. Hello Neil and friends. Since no one talked about it, I'm here to talk about the holy grail of Amiga games. It was born in 1992 by Sensible Software. It's the best football game ever made on any system. Comments in the chat please. There were lots of versions. There was also a funny demo on Amiga Power called Bulldog Blighty, where you play Sensi with a grenade. That was fun. Was it called Bulldog Blighty? I thought it was called was it Cannon Fodder Soccer, or I don't remember it being called Bulldog Blighty, but you must be right. I don't like sports games, especially football games, but Sensi was different. I have to confess that when I saw my friends playing it, I said it looked crap. I grabbed the Quickshot Maverick 1, best Amiga joystick ever. Again, comments in the chat. It was love at first sight. So many hours playing with my brother and friends. Sometimes 7 of us in a room. And to think that Sensible Soccer were almost going to follow musicians' careers. Were they? I know John Hare liked his music and plays guitar. I didn't know he was going for a musician's career. Thank you Sensible Software for not following your musical dreams and for the thousands of hours of joy I've had playing Sensi. And that's from Pedro. Cannon Soccer, that was it. Thank you Saint. And Blockulator. And Mike. Pete says the zip stick. Kevin Tom's grenade kicking simulator. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I was more of a Kickoff kind of guy. And here's the funny thing. Dino Dini, who made Kickoff, started a Discord channel recently. So you've been able to watch him on Twitch for years programming, and then he cut that off about a year ago. He started a Discord channel because he's opened a radio station in Brighton, an internet radio station. And then randomly I was chatting to him the other day, and he was asking me if I wanted to do a show on his radio station. So I'm like, okay. I mean, I probably owe you a few thousand hours from all that Kickoff playing. So I don't know, maybe I can come up with some kind of video game music related show for Dino Dini. It's so bizarre to be talking to that man who gave me so many hours of gaming and him to say, do you want to do a radio show? So yeah. And then here's the final S that's been left over. I know Woody's still got one to come to us, maybe tomorrow. It's Space Rogue. Beautifully measured with a set square. Now I had this. I bought it in Poole down in Dorset for my favourite video games market, which was just a mess. Before retro games were cool, there was this guy with over, I don't know, 20,000 games in a room just stacked from floor to ceiling. Everything was like 50p or £1, and I bought this for 50p with a massive dollop of bird crap on it. Took it home, cleaned it up, and I bought it because I loved Ultima and Richard Garriott, and he and his brother started Origin, so I was collecting the Origin games. And this is like a space RPG. Came out in I don't have the date here. Oilov did send me the date, but I seem to have lost it. Sorry. Anyway, it's been recently re-released on Steam as Space Rogue Classic. And he says it's the first game I actually completed back in the day on my Amstrad PC2086 with a 20MB hard card, AdLib sound, quickshot joystick interface, and a CH Mac 3 joystick. Mac 2 joystick, sorry. Mac 3 is a Razer Mac 2 joystick. That is me on the front, Dave. That's a young me with my BMX helmet. The Amstrad is long gone. I've still got the joystick and the original copy of the game. Space Rogue is a trading RPG in the Elite mode, but unlike recent games of this type, you can exit your spaceship and explore the space stations. You can even play an in-game arcade game, the relevance of which is revealed during the end game. Also, he's attached some cave tour photos, so let's have a look at those. Number 1. Okay, prepare to be really jealous. This is not his house, this is his cave. Number 1. How big? Over 2,000 square feet of hobby room. Look at that door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 10 doors of door with one handle. Number 2, step inside. It's a jumbled, disorganised mess, but I can usually find stuff. No one else can. Random motorbike. Biscuit jar. Look at the size of it. Number 3. Now, this is really, really nice. Do you remember we saw the Sinclair QL recently on the Q videos, and it had a gorgeous Cub black monitor, and I said I've never seen a monitor like that. That looks amazing. Well, he happens to have one. Here's the back of it, and he says Neil was lusting after a black. Sorry, it wasn't Cub. It was a Micro Vitek. Oh, it was Cub. Sorry, that's the make and then the brand. A Micro Vitek Cub for his QL. Would you like one, Neil? And he has very kindly offered that when this lockdown is over, we can arrange some kind of collection, and I can have this black monitor to go with my Sinclair QL. How incredible is that? The QL needs a refurb. The monitor was last known to be working when it was last switched on 10 years ago, so we've got to be careful with it. Yeah, I'll probably have to drive and collect it. I mean, it looks kind of like, you look at that and you think, oh, that's got to be in the US. Only people in the US have that much warehouse on the side of their houses. But actually, no, it's in the UK. So this is a donation that I'm really grateful for and looking forward to collecting. It's really going to finish off that QL beautifully. Number 4, some big box PC games. Where's that picture? Am I missing some pictures? I'm missing some pictures. Hang on. I have got to download these. Where have they gone? Maybe they're in the downloads folder. No. No, don't tell me I haven't downloaded these. Right, let's have a look. Enjoy the music while I have a little look. No, I can't see them. I've been too efficient in my sorting through. No. Okay, sorry. So he's got some pictures. Hopefully, if you're watching or if you watch later, you can send these through because either they weren't on the original email or I've completely missed them. She had some big box games to share with us, some 3D printers, some Pizza Box Max, some Duke 3D, and storage and the ensuite toilet. Who doesn't want to see the ensuite toilet in that place? No, I do. But look how far back it goes. That looks like a grandfather clock just at the back there. That is bigger than the cave. That could be my entire studio. And then guarding over the cave is a Womble. Is that Uncle Bulgaria? I don't know which one that is. But he's wombling free around there. So, thank you very much. And now we move on to the tea games. Now, there is a man who has contributed so much to this live stream and this channel. He's a very humble man because he's never asked once for me to promote his YouTube channel. Which is why I'm going to post a link here. He has another video for us today. His name is Custado. You've all enjoyed his videos, so I do urge you to click on that link and give him a sub if you haven't already. Thank you, Custado, for everything you've done. We are all in envy of your incredible collection. And here is his choice of T-game today.
Hello, Custardo here. My pick for the letter T is Tomena Sanar, a game released on iOS and WiiWare by Konami in 2009 and 2010. As the Wii Shop was taken offline last year and it never got a physical release, and the iOS version wasn't maintained either, there is currently no legitimate way to get a copy of this game. In Tomena Sanar you play Hitoshi Susumu, a salaryman who's running late. Yep, this is the complete story of the game.
Trying to get to work.
You have to reach each level's goal before the time runs out.
Hey,
Along
Nefis.
the way you encounter different obstacles you have to overcome by pressing the A button. The way you interact with each obstacle depends on the timing of your button presses. Get a good and you will best the obstacle. But get a great and you will get a different animation and you will receive a small time bonus as well. However, failing an obstacle is sometimes rewarded too with a funny animation. Run out of time or off the screen and it's game over. If you manage to reach the end of the level, you play a rhythm dance-off for some extra bonus points. Tomena Sanar may not be the best game in the world, but it's funny and quirky, and surprisingly good fun to play. It really is a shame Konami doesn't make games like this anymore.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now, back to the studio.
Thank you, Custado. And there is that link. Again, if you haven't subscribed. Now, at first glance, that looks to me like just some rubbish mobile game, like so many others. But because Custado's telling me it's good, I want to play it. There's obviously something much better under the surface. I mean, the style of it's great. But, yeah, it looks fun. Custado tells me it's fun. Custado is a man I trust. It's not a Manic Miner clone, Dave. What do we got next then? Let's make a little folder called Done. Custado, done. Oh, hang on, I've got to close the video first. Done. David has submitted T for Theme Park. I mean, who didn't love Theme Park? It was on the Amiga, it was on the PC. It probably came later on PlayStation and other systems. I mean, we all played it and then we all decided the objective was, how many people can you make sick on your roller coaster? I mean, that was the goal, wasn't it? And what kid didn't want to design their own theme park? It was the perfect premise for a game. It was amazing it took so long for someone to come up with it, really. Marvellous choice. Theme Park by Bullfrog. And of course we had Theme Hospital after that, didn't we? Let's have a look. We've got quite a lot of pictures today. Oh, there's another S I missed. And it's a video. Let's jump onto this S. There's some text with it. So this is from Paul. Paul says, despite being in many schools, the 32-bit Acorn machines don't get a whole lot of retro love. They were priced and marketed outside of the home and gaming market for too long. So despite not having many games that used it, Archimedes hardware from 1989 could do some impressive things. This is Starfighter 3000. And, okay, Susie. And everybody should subscribe. Oh, he says everyone should subscribe to Gadget UK 164 to support his bang-up jobs of saving Archimedes boards from the dreaded battery acid. Yes. So I'm actually a patron of Gadget UK 164. A very talented engineer. And he has turned his attention to Archimedes boards. And boy, do they need it. Because they are just eating themselves. More so than, say, Amiga 500 Pluses have a reputation. They are killing themselves. Archimedes are the worst of the worst at the moment of killing themselves. And in a lot of them, the battery is right next to the hard drive controller. As soon as that battery goes, it just eats that. It's just a horror show. But turning our attention to this game, Starfighter, this was written in BBC Basic, which sounds crazy, but the beauty of BBC Basic was that you could just drop assembly code directly into BBC Basic. And you could write the whole thing in Basic and then streamline chunks of it in assembly. Which is just testament to the quality of the language. It's got texture mapping. It's 3D. It's before Star Fox. Pretty sure it is. Oh no, it's not actually. It's not. It said available. Hang on, available from November 1994. I thought it was earlier than that. 29.95. Now, when did Star Fox come? I think it was earlier than that. But it was still damn good. Based on the RISC processor, so a form of ARM. Same year. I had a friend with an Archimedes. His parents bought him it because it was educational. Oh, got some disc loading sounds there. But actually, he had a really good selection of games. Jaguar E-Type, Chocks Away, Terra something, Terra Pods? No, it wasn't Terra Pods. Can't remember that one. There were quite a few good Bitmap Brothers games that we had on the Amiga ported over. Esoferio had a friend once too. Terramex. You got it, Blockulator. Thank you. It's like a puzzle, side-scrolling puzzle game where you jumped between characters. Heroes Quest, Lemmings. Retro Box Room has an A3010. That's the nice wedge one. Yeah. Oh, we've moved on to Global Warfare. Oh no, that was just the name of the level. And actually, I've seen it run a lot smoother than this. So I think this was probably a lesser Archimedes. But yeah, just great systems, great games. Good memories outside of school. Thank you, Paul. Oh, it's Yellow Belly. There he is. He appeared yesterday with his submissions, and he's continued. I'm pleased to see. See what he's got for us today. Is it going to be an Amstrad submission?
Greetings, K-Dwellers. Yellow Belly here with my entry for the letter T. This was an easy one for me. Here's the story. Back in the day, we had, just before the Mega Drive officially came out, you could get them on what we called grey imports. So I travelled from Manchester to Stoke to get one, and I got a grey imports, which is basically a Japanese Mega Drive converted to English. As you can see in the picture, it had that beautiful blue button, so that's what I bought. And I also bought a game with it, and that very first game was my letter T, and it was the absolutely awesome Thunder Force 3.
Great soundtrack.
This was my first shoot-'em-up, and what a shoot-'em-up it was to buy. My very first Mega Drive game with my grey import Mega Drive. Beautiful graphics, as you can see there, and a stonking soundtrack. I actually used to put the soundtrack in the hi-fi system at home, my Mega Drive through the hi-fi system, and entertain the neighbours with it. It's that beautiful FM sound chip that the Mega Drive has.
It's a great looking game.
Yes, this was my first entry into Mega Drive universe, and what a way to start. So there we go. Thunder Force 3 is my letter T retro game. Back to you in the studio, Neil. I'm off for a Rustlers. Yellow Belly out.
Enjoy your rustlers. Filthy, filthy rustlers. I always think of you, Yellow Belly, you and Novabug, whenever I see a rustlers. It's just an instant reaction now. Rustlers, Yellow Belly. Thunder Force T by Technosoft. T. Hell of a game. Nice to see that Yellow Belly, for all his love of Amstrad, embraces the other systems. Blockulator says, imagine going past the Scotch eggs and picking a Rustlers. Imagine it. Oh, thank you, Oil of Cloves. I will have a look. Imagine if Rustlers did Scotch eggs. Imagine that. Let's have a look. Oh, no email received yet. Let's just have a little look in the old junk mail. No, nothing gone into spam. I'll keep an eye out for that. And of course, Yellow Belly has a YouTube channel which you all went over to and subscribed to yesterday. Don't have the link to hand, I'm afraid. But Yellow Belly. If you look for Yellow Belly Amstrad, you'll find him. Yellow Belly, if you want to email me again with that link, I'll stick it in chat. 005 Agima, what have you got for us today? Let's find out.
Hi Neil and Cave Dwellers. T is for the 10-star games pack, obviously. And if you're not familiar with the 10-star games pack, well, the reason why I've decided to feature this is because there's 2 T games in it, but also because when I got my Batman pack back in the day, I also scored the 10-star games pack with it as well, which was fantastic.
Tape measure. Hadouken! You can have an extra point for Amiga Forever. And the classic 90s speaker. Okay, you may continue.
And when I've repurchased the Batman pack, I actually had to go to the same lengths and I repurchased the 10-star games pack as well. Sadly, none of them work, but I've got a backup disc in each of them that I'm...
Sorry, 2 joysticks.
My, but you got a big one.
Oh, that was the wrong one. Let's do it again. 2 joysticks.
Oh, what a lovely looking pair.
Okay. As you were.
I made myself from ADFs, so I can play it on the metal. So there's the first T game there. Actually, no, the first T game is actually on the left-hand screen, which is playing via Amiga Forever, which is Pteropods, which, if I can use another T word, in my view, is a terrible game. It's not that it's terrible, it's that I'm terrible at it and never really got to grips with it, so maybe I need to revisit it.
That Roger Dean
but
artwork.
there's Pteropods by Psygnosis, so that's fantastic there. And the next one, which is playing on the actual Amiga there via a backup disc that I've made, because like I said, none of these work, is Thundercats. Now, I'm sorry, that is a terrible game.
That is a terrible game. I'm glad you said it.
Definitely valid there. Okay, I think that's it. I think I'm over time there. So there we go. T for 10-star, T for Pteropods, and T for Thundercats, and also T for thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sticking within the time limit. It keeps it punchy, it keeps it tight. We've got Amigas, which looks like an Arkanoid clone. Can't quite see what that one is. Oh, Art of Chess. Barbarian 2 or Barbarian. Buggy Boy. Can anyone tell me what this one is? Not sure what this one is. Or this one. Mercenary, Pteropods, Thundercats, Whizball. Not sure what these middle ones are. You have got some good games in there. Whizball, Buggy Boy, Barbarian, Mercenary. You have got some utter T for Tripe in there. Thundercats. Thundercats was so awful. I mean, growing up as a kid, as a huge fan of Thundercats, the game was such a disappointment. Yeah, Bank Holiday Monday is just a normal day for me, Woodand. No time off for me. T for tape measures, yeah. Is that Ikari Warriors? Oh yeah, that's the W. See, I knew 10 Star did it, I just... Yeah, so, and they're all numbered, so that's kind of a nice thing to collect, isn't it? In the modern day. Nice. Moving on. Now here's a man who's also done an awful lot for the channel with his submissions. And another person who doesn't... I don't think he's ever sent me his YouTube channel link. And I know he's got a YouTube channel, so while we're watching this, I'm going to go and get the link because good old Pixels, he deserves some subs.
Hello everyone, Pixels at Dawn here. Now, for T, I have one of my favourite PC games ever in the history of PC games. From 1997, we have Total Annihilation, one of the best RTSs out there. Still, some of those features don't appear in later games for some reason. I don't know why. I guess everyone likes StarCraft more, but here is my favourite RTS, Total Annihilation. Although it's a toss-up between this and its spiritual successor, Supreme Commander, which came out a number of years later. This has a nice embossed or sticker for Game of the Month from PC Gamer. It's a lovely box as well. You can see all the different map types and stuff going on there. A few boats even. A fantastic game. Let's get it open. Good job done by Cave Dog Entertainment. So, here we go. We've got the manual, which has seen a lot of action, I can say that certainly. Black and whites are not too amazing, but it has all sorts of things. Your unit build hierarchies for all the different factories and stuff. Descriptions of all the different units, which have like code names and all things like that. You have, as always, the lovely registration card, which I never got around to sending off. GT Interactive. Remember when they were a thing? Well, maybe I did send it off. No, I must have sent it off because I've only got the French versions and the German versions left. So that was sent off. Never got anything from it though, so not to worry. There's the nice disc. Double CD jewel case. And you've got 2 discs in it. Oh, that one's fallen out. Come on. Oh, I haven't got the nails for this. There we go. There's your second disc with a nice air superiority fighter on there. But yes, that's Total Annihilation. I also have Total Annihilation Core Contingency.
Pixels, you always have all of the expansions. If there's an expansion,
added more maps and more missions.
He's got it.
Extra campaign, I think, as well. There's also a Battle Tactics expansion, but I don't have that. It wasn't that exciting, I don't think. And also has just the jewel case in there. A few more tile sets as well, as I recall. Nothing too exciting. Very blue though. Yeah, there you go. That is Total Annihilation. See you again.
Thank you, Pixels. And here is his YouTube channel. Lovely chap, always comes to the Southwest Amiga group over near Bristol, and just such a great member of the community, helping us here, and also he plays a huge part in the Amigos YouTube channel and their streams. Now, while that's been going on, we have the remaining pictures from that huge garage that we saw. Oh, that needs some rotation. So that is a re-engineered 3D printer. That's good. That looks pretty heavy duty. Get some big prints out of that. 68K Max stacked up there. LC3. We got there. LC3. The LC3 was the one you wanted because it was fully 32-bit. The LC1 and LC2 were a bit crippled. Got a laser writer here. The LC3, that went full speed. Some external SCSI boxes. Oh, we've gone on to the next one now. What's this? 486 to Core 2 Duo. So all of the PCs. What is that? We've got some sort of test rig going on here that you can just screw some wires into. The classic Dell Optiplex. Saw them in many an office. It's a nice looking case there. There's something on the test bench over here. And then the back half of the cave. Such a huge space. So there we go. Thank you for sending them in. Oh, you're in the chat there talking about them. 2 LC3s with network cards, an LC475 and a Performer 630 DOS. That's the 486 that I was looking at, yeah. The P4 Optiplexes were dreadful. A lot of P4s were dreadful because they ran so hot. You needed a nice big case. But those Optiplexes, you could just push the 2 buttons and open them up like a car bonnet. And if you had them in businesses, you normally had them for 3 years with, you know, the Dell support. If you're a decent business, you had the Dell support pack, and it wasn't your problem. If it broke, an engineer would turn up the next day with a replacement system board, and it was sorted. And of course we had Yellow Belly, so there's a link there. He's sent in a link to his channel. There we go. So who have we got next? How are we doing for time? 10 to 9. Next up, it's our good friend, my learned friend. Oh, that's a quality choice. Starring the man, the Doc from Back to the Future.
Hello, Cave Dwellers. I thought I'd make a contribution to the letter T with the sometimes overlooked game for the PC, Toonstruck. This was a point-and-click adventure by Virgin. This is my original 1996 copy. It's got remarkably high production values, and it sees you playing as a digitised version of Christopher Lloyd, who gets sucked into a hand-drawn, beautifully animated, very colourful cartoon world. It's no cutesy kids game though. For those of you who've played it, you might remember. You might remember there's a scene where there's a cow who's just a little bit too much into sadomasochism, really, to be considered a kids game. And I think that's true for the whole game. A very warped sense of humour. Certainly something I laughed to when I played it first time through. The voice acting in this game is superb. Not only got Christopher Lloyd. You've also got Don DeLuise, Tim Curry's in it, Dan Castellaneta, of course, Homer Simpson, he's also in it, and they really did spend a lot of money and a lot of polish getting this as good as it really could be, both in looks and in sound. Ends and Way, which opens up the way to a sequel, but for various reasons that never happened, never saw the light of day, which is a real shame because I'd love to play that back in the day. Manual. I know there are some cave dwellers out there who love manuals. This one, 28 pages, I'm afraid, very short. But rather unusually, and I don't think I've seen this in other adventure game manuals, it's got a playthrough to help new players get the hang of point-and-click adventures, and it's a playthrough for the first few scenes in the game. Great game, well worth checking out. Still runs really well on modern hardware, which is another massive plus. So there we are, Toonstruck, a great game for the letter T.
It is a great game. It's beautifully made. Yeah, it was mind blown when it came out. Where's our music? There's our music. Does the word "the" qualify as T? Because I really enjoyed The Lost Vikings and The Fury of the Furries, says Neffers. Yeah. Basically, the rules are yours to interpret. Considering in S we had Dizzy's Scotch Egg, a game that never existed and Chrissy invented, most things go. Entertain us, as Nirvana said. Oh, I've been looking forward to this one because I saw the thumbnail for it. Right, I think this is going to be a good one. From Toonstruck and Doc Emmett Brown 2.
Evening, Cave Dwellers. Well, I thought I'd do something a bit different for this video. It's been a passion of mine for about 35 years, and it's probably one of the biggest things I've ever bought. That's a clue there on the t-shirt. Let's have a look.
Look at that!
There we are. My 1981 DeLorean DMC-12. I haven't driven it for about 6 months.
Cheers to that man.
And this is the first time I've seen it since the lockdown started.
I can turn it up for you. I did notice the video was very loud at the start, so I'm going to turn it up for you, but just if you're a headphone wearer, beware. You know, it could jump up again. I don't know. Like I say, I don't watch these videos until I get to watch them with you, so let's turn it up and just be careful.
Things I've ever bought. That's a clue there on my t-shirt. Let's have a look.
I'm not going to use the horn.
There we are. My 1981
I know it's a
DeLorean
crap car,
DMC-12.
but it's beautiful.
I haven't driven it for about 6 months, and this is the first time I've seen it since the lockdown started, because I don't keep it at home, I keep it in my dad's garage.
Oh, okay.
And
I see a tape measure in there.
Tyre needs a bit of air.
Oh, this is
look
glorious.
inside.
Outdoors.
Oh, newspaper there. Oh dear. So we have
tape measure, but I'm not going to press the horn.
time
don't worry.
circuits, and of course you can't have DeLorean without the flux capacitor.
If you've got DeLorean, you've got to do that, haven't you? You've got to put all of that in there.
Yeah, I just thought I'd do a few more shots of the outside.
So good. Exactly, Geronimo. Who cares if it's a crap car? It's an awesome car. It's not about going fast. It's just about being the coolest car on the road. Yeah, and it doesn't need
It's
to
not
go
running
over
at the moment. I just tried to start it and just heard a loud bang, and there's no electrics in the car. Not sure what's happened. I think the battery just might need charging because I've not charged it for a while. It's just been sat.
Needs a recap.
I disconnected the battery, I think it was before Christmas, and just left it in the footwell. So that's probably the reason why, hopefully. Just hope there's nothing more serious. So these are the time circuits in action. Just type in a date here. Let's try. There we go. That noise you can hear in the background is the flux capacitor.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious
That's incredible.
And we're now back in 2015.
Gotta fix that thing.
Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've taken the glove box lid off. And I did that about 2 months ago. I went to Liverpool Comic Con and Bob Gale, the writer and producer of Back to the Future, was there, and I got him to sign the glove box lid. And then about 3 days later I went to the Back to the Future musical in Manchester, just before the lockdown, and it was opening night, and well, it was a press night, and I got to meet Alan Silvestri, who did the score, and Robert Zemeckis, the director. I just forgot to bring it back and reinstall it in the car. So let's go to
I was really worried you were going to say someone stole it.
And let's hope things are a lot better then.
I didn't like to say that, would and.
Anyway, it's back to Neil in 2020.
What are you looking at, butthead?
And then you can have Biff blow your ears off. There we go. To be continued, eh? Ooh. I wonder if we're going to get a follow-up video. That is awesome. Now, you need to get together with Jamie at One Click Print, who is in the Sheffield direction, because I happen to know he has 2 kit cars from Knight Rider. One finished, I think the other was for spares, or he might have 2 completely done, I don't know. But if we can get you and Jamie together, we can have a DeLorean and a kit car, and you both need to come to some kind of RMC meetup. And we can play arcades, and we can nerd out over your cars. Yes, David, yes, and we need someone to turn up in the Airwolf helicopter. Best day ever. Right, that's just awesome. So, Chrissy's got a show and tell for us. We bumped that over from yesterday, so let's see what he's got for us. Oh, the 18 van, yeah. Oh no, we're going to miss that glorious F-Zero music, but what do you got for us, Chrissy?
Hi, Chrissy here.
Hi, Chrissy.
I'm going to show you this, the Sega Saturn model that I got from Amazon Japan.
Ooh.
It's from Bestic Chronicle. They also do a PlayStation model. Let's open it up and see all the goodies inside.
And I must say, Chrissy, this looks awesome. Someone had to follow up that DeLorean. I'm sorry. How'd you follow that?
It's like an Airfix kit, but Sega Saturn instead. Here's the manual, quick look inside, and what I'm going to do is probably fast forward through the rest of this because it'll be a long time to build.
Oh, Russell, maybe next week, unless they've only put it online. But thank you for checking. I'll let my mum know. Chrissy has turned into the Karate Kid now. If the Karate Kid built models of the Sega Saturn. Sorry, Dave. It's quite a lot of parts, isn't it? Does he wax on and wax off? I don't know what the song is. You'll have to ask Chrissy. I don't know if he's in the chat. You try and at Chrissy. Oh, he is. Chrissy, paging Chrissy. People would like to know what the song is. Jamie, you like your beads and your making things. This looks right up your street. That sounded really patronising, didn't it? I didn't mean it in that way. You like making things. Saturn Daniel-san. Very much so. Good. I reckon you could squeeze a pie in there. I don't know if the controller would be usable. I think you could squeeze a pie. Music is too loud. I'll knock it down for you. Castardo. Do you know what? I had an Indian takeaway the other day, Castardo, and I went on YouTube and I searched for Indian dinner music, and it was the perfect mix to eat my Indian to. Geronimo says Pi Saturn emulation is a sticky one. They've not quite got there yet. It is very cute. Nunkos. Paul wants you to put a Rustlers in it. Is that going to be the next RMC video thing? I want to see a tape measure and I want to see a Rustlers in your console.
Little Sega Saturn mini model. Still got some stickers, and that's about it for now. Bye!
Thank you, Chrissy. That looks great. That really does look good. Nice. And Dave says, is it PAL or NTSC? What I want is a Kinder Egg big enough to fit that in. That is a Kinder Egg I would buy all day. Chrissy, another one who has contributed so much to these streams, so thank you, Chrissy, for everything that you've done. We always enjoy your videos. Yeah, it's a Japanese model, is it? Yeah. I always like the white Saturn. Yeah, there was a white Saturn, wasn't there? I always liked that one. So, just down the road from me, it's our good friend Russ. Ready with his Rabome Chesterman Handyflex 308 3m/10 foot plus 50mm of girth tape measure. Whoa. Take it in. Take it in. See what Russ has got for us.
And indeed, Heidi Ho, cave dwellers. Otto, and indeed, Heidi Ho, cave dwellers.
Heidi hi.
Now, I considered doing Days of Thunder today,
get it off my screen.
I don't really think I'd get away with that, even though I have the original disc. And believe it or not, it works. Yes, my Shadow of the Beast 2 discs no longer work, but Days of Thunder still works.
Kill it.
No, because everyone loves a good game of Amiga tanks.
That starts with
There
an
it
A.
is.
But it is a great game.
Here's player 1, and
hand.
we'll just put in RMC. There we go. Go.
Oh, I played this a lot.
So what I have to do is set up my gun and
Days of Thunder.
and fire. Don't think so, somehow. RMC's turn, and I'm just going to do it for him.
Direct hit, Commander.
Oh.
No. I sent it into orbit.
No.
Oh, it's a good shot. No, it's short. Yeah, I think a tape measure would have helped Namco's. This time. Just tickled him. We've got to see a hit. Boom. What do I get for that? Oh, that's it. One hit kills.
Well, congratulations, Neil. I knew you could do it.
All day long.
Can't be too happy with that one.
He can't be too happy
that's
with
Amiga
that
Tanks. And back to you, Neil.
I mean, I had that cover disc. I was an Amiga format man, but I did buy Amiga computing once in a while. Had that, played that to death. And to come with, you know, a nice music tracker and that on a disc. That's a hell of a disc. What else have we got on there? The Graphics Ripper. Landscape. Design your own landscape garden in minutes. PP type. Scion Link. Talk to your Scion organizer. AutoScript, and plus the usual programs from the Code Clinic and Machine Code Columnist. Ooh. Streamer luck. Boom, have some of that, Neil. Yeah, I don't remember the Machine Code columns, Namco's. Gotta be honest, it was usually the cover disc that attracted me. Another man who contributes so much to these streams is Tim. What have you got for us today, Tim? We've gone past S for Star Wars. Surely he can't shoehorn another Star Wars in.
Hi, Tim here. I've been very busy at work today, so I'm actually doing this really quickly after work in the evening. So
Thank you, Tim.
Apologies for the low production values and not quite the same bang per buck as my Star Wars entry. But for tea, I'm going to pick an Amiga game, which is an RPG by Interplay.
Tea for
The Lord of the Rings. It's it only covers the first book up to the Mines of Moria, or actually the outside of the Mines of Moria. I actually played this game and completed it when I had an Amiga back in the day, and you know, on reflection, it was quite painful. I had to do kind of my own hand-drawn maps to work my way around certain mazes and things, and there was quite a bit of disk swapping because I didn't have a hard drive at the time.
It wasn't the quickest at
but I actually managed to
scrolling.
get through it, and
quite
I think
slow.
that says more about how much I love the book, The Lord of the Rings, than perhaps how great this game is. But yeah, it's it was something I enjoyed, and
they did, Dave. They did.
It's a little RPG where you actually play the hobbits, and you get Gandalf, and you kind of go around and do slightly more than you do in the movies. It's more based on the books, but quite an achievement really in the number of discs and things. I think it's 3 discs, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but it has fond memories for me. Sadly, they never made, at least on the Amiga, the Two Towers or the Return of the King. This is only the Fellowship, and although it's been made on PC, I think Two Towers at least got made on PC, but after that, I guess it wasn't that successful. So yeah, got to have a few kind of slightly dodgy games in your your collection, and this is one of mine. Anyway, that's me for tea, and I will see you perhaps for the next letter, which I'm too tired to even think about right now.
Oh, Tim.
Bye for now.
Tremendous effort, Tim. I'm sorry that you're so tired from work, but thank you for putting the effort in regardless. There was the whole trilogy, wasn't there, on the 8-bits? I know, at least on the Amstrad, I think on the ZX Spectrum as well, probably the C64, you could get the Tolkien trilogy. But that was a text adventure. Dave mentioned that the Amigos covered this on their channel, on their podcast this week. And they sure did, and they covered it on various platforms. The standout thing on the Amiga version was just how slowly it scrolled. And it's exactly as Tim described. You had to be a hardcore fan of the book to really work through it and get out of it. I don't know, there was a certain thing on some of these older games. There was a certain element of your imagination, wasn't there? Especially with text adventures, but it went beyond text adventures. What it lacked, sometimes in graphical fidelity, your mind just filled in the gaps. Partly because you wanted so badly for something like Lord of the Rings that you loved as a book to work, so you were determined to make it perhaps better than it was, and partly because you couldn't be bothered to wait 10 minutes for another cassette tape to load or to dig out another game. You persevered. You don't really have that element of gaming when it comes to hitting escape and picking another ROM that instantly loads. But there we go. Plenty of better RPGs out there, but good memories for Tim. Let's go to another regular, excellent contributor who brings us news from Japan. Always things I've never heard of. Dana says, my pick for the letter T shall be Treasure of the Rudras. Rudras? I don't know. Rudras? Treasure of the... As you probably guessed from the fact it's Japanese on the SNES, and my submission, yes, it's an RPG. The final game Squaresoft developed for the system. Pronounce that, Neil. No, it's not Rugrats. The final game Squaresoft developed for the system, releasing just a year or two before Final Fantasy VII. It has the beautiful visuals you'd expect from a Squaresoft title and the epic quest to save the world from destruction you expect from the genre. But where it shines is the deep, complicated spell system. Who doesn't love a deep, complicated spell system? Which has you entering your own spells into a book, typing out the name letter by letter. By reading books, speaking to NPCs and observing enemies, you can learn the properties of magic words to create your own powerful spells. Miraculously, they were able to fully implement this in the English fan translation. Certainly no easy task. It may not be anyone's all-time favourite, but it's one for the RPG fan looking for a quality game with a fresh mechanic. And who doesn't love a fresh mechanic? Thank you, Dana. Of course I've never heard of it. The Treasure of Rudras. But you make it sound immensely playable. Custado says, well, that already sounds too much like a job, and that's always the danger with RPGs, isn't it? When it turns into a grind, it gets to the point where you come home from work and think, well, better go and do my virtual job now. Chris has a selection of games for us. Game number 1. T is for... And, oh, we've just run over the hour, so we'll just do Chris's and everything else will roll over to tomorrow. T is for... Thief, the Dark Project. Quality game. Such a great game, he says. It was a change from the run-of-the-mill FPS. It brought the Dark engine with a focus on shadows and sneaking around to complete your objectives. Me and my flatmate in 98-99 spent many hours playing it and watching each other play Thief. A highlight for one session was being at the end of a corridor in a shadow with the light meter showing the lowest level and a guard being right in front of us yet unable to see Garrett, who was less than 1 foot in front of him. Hilarity ensued when my friend would wallop the guard in the face with his blackjack, causing the guard to shout and look for whoever it was that just hit him in the face. However, you were so good at hiding in the shadow just a foot from his face that he would do his prowl, peer around, and eventually give up. This entertained us for a good 30 minutes as we repeatedly smashed him in the face. Oh, what fun. The second T game is The Super Shinobi. I absolutely love this game, he says. I got it when I got my Mega Drive in '89 from Dixon's in St Helens. Love the graphic style, how they leveraged the power of the Mega Drive to make a visually stunning game and an audio masterpiece. The song is still stuck in my mind. The full screen depiction with animated hand and sword deflecting sets the scene very well, except you don't use a sword at all in the game, but you throw a large number of shurikens at your enemy. None of the sequels hit the mark. We saw a lot of Shinobi yesterday and Marilyn Monroe in the various ports. Game number 3. T for Treasure Island. This came with a very useful fold-out map that was required. I find a picture of that, but I don't. It's based on the classic story and was one of the packing games that came with the Commodore Plus 4. My brother and I, well, that's a tiny screenshot. Enhance. That's a long whale. From here, is that a long whale? My brother and I spent many hours playing this game, eventually to completion. The other packing games were decent, with the highlights being Icicle Works and Fire Ant. I'd argue that the packing games were the best packing collection of games to be thrown in with a computer. Discuss. Wii Sports came with a Wii. Do you agree? Wii Sports that came with Wii for consoles. Do you agree? I'm not sure what the question is there. Is it? Did Wii Sports? Is Wii Sports your suggestion as a good packing? Wii Sports that came with Wii for consoles. Do you agree? Let's ignore that question and go with: do you think that the Commodore Plus 4 had the best packing games ever? Packing games. Well, we had Days of Thunder earlier. That was definitely a terrible packing game. F-18 Interceptor. Good packing game. Back to the Future 2. Bad packing game. Nightbreed. Terrible. Altered Beast. Okay for the time. Batman. You know, Batman. Batman's like an 80% game for me. I'm not saying it's not a good game. Cartoon Classics. You had Bart Simpson versus the Space Mutants. What else did you get with Cartoon Classics? Oh God, did you get Captain Planet with that? Am I imagining that? Did Captain Planet come with Cartoon Classics? Oh Mummy on the Specky. Cybermorph. Yeah, Captain Planet. And also Amstrad CPC 464. It came with 10 cassette tapes, cellophaned, and rather than just putting them in a box, they were all front on. So you had this like metre square cellophane pack of cassette tapes. That was awesome as a kid. C64 Terminator pack, not bad. Spectrum James Bond pack with a light gun. Anything newer than that? Did the Saturn come with Sega Rally? Because that would have been a good package. Duck Hunt and Mario. Yeah, that's a good shout. I mean, Duck Hunt never had much longevity for me. Mario more so. I guess Duck Hunt was, one you went back to definitely with 2 players. That's got me thinking. Anyway, that's our hour, so we've got some T games to roll over to tomorrow. Quite a lot, actually. So, my request for tomorrow and the following days is U, V and W games. If you can, keep them to sort of 3 minutes or under or thereabouts. just because it allows us all time to get through everyone's. If you've got something awesome like that DeLorean that we saw today, please show us as much of it as possible. If you've got, like Daniel says, maybe an S game, if you've got some leftover games, send them my way. Anything that's sort of left over, if we don't show them tomorrow, obviously Monday is going to be the last day, but if we've got some sort of run over, we'll have sort of a mop-up day on Tuesday. That can just be my excuse to not end the stream because I don't want to. Tournament, unreal. The plan, Russell, when Z is done, or Z for our American viewers, is to figure out how to make this sustainable. Which is to say, it will happen, but it will happen less. Obviously, it's not sustainable for me to do it every evening, but I love it. So we'll find a way that we can do it. What about number games? Yeah, maybe once a week or a mix of public and Patreon ones. We'll figure it out, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Don't panic. I'm not going to abandon you. I'm not going to abandon you, Holly. We'll all still be here for each other. And if you want to chat, head over to Discord and come and say hello. As always, take care. You guys are amazing. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Take care. Bye-bye. He's waving.